Hello and welcome to the MAViSMITH Podcast number 32. I'm GFA and I'm joined by Mav. If you don't know what MAViSMITH is a content creation company owned by myself and Mav. We have a YouTube channel where we upload content ranging from short films to music videos. We upload whatever we want and we're open to suggestions. We also stream games on Twitch at twitch.tv/MAViSMITH. You can catch us on all social media under MAViSMITH, but we mainly focus on Instagram, so make sure to follow us there. Today's topics range from horror stories to drunk stories. One in the same, in my opinion. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing this evening?
How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good Monday. Had a good weekend. I have a massive apology to make for my lousy performance on Monday. I went back and I watched some of it, and it was cringy as hell. So that'll make a funny highlight for our YouTube channel. That's what happens when you try and do everything. You burn the candle at both ends. I think the phrase is.
Absolutely.
And we didn't want to not do the podcast because, you know, Mama didn't raise no quitter. So here we are with episode. What are we on?
32.
32. I felt like we were in the 20s for so long. I think we're now gonna be stuck in the 30s. It feels like it's so long.
Well, it's 10 weeks. It's 2.5 months.
Yeah, I know, but
I can't believe that if you think about it, before you know it, we'll be at 52, which is 1 year because we've done it every week. We've only ever missed 1 week, and that's when I was in a different country.
Wasn't it 2? No, it was 1.
1 week. Because I got back and we did the podcast like the day I landed, pretty much.
We must be close to. I reckon we're on technically 40. Because obviously we had I can't believe we lost those.
Yeah, I know we shouldn't have deleted them. We should have just made them unlisted in hindsight. But yeah, no, we started doing the podcast in
on your
June
what was it, a sofa?
Yeah, that was so bad.
Did you have a sofa up here?
Yeah, I had a little wooden plastery wiry one, and it was up here. Wooden plastery wiry.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very comfortable.
It isn't.
But yeah, so we got some topics today. I had no idea what we had spoken about last Monday, so I had to go through each and every topic with GFA to make sure that we hadn't mentioned it. We had an eventful weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, that's a way to describe it.
Yeah, let's just dive straight in. Let's just drive straight into it, I guess.
Dive into it. Where are we going with it?
Dive into it. We were drunk, so we can't drive.
Yeah.
FBI watching. Us, please. Yeah, so on Friday we went up into London, and we went to the Monarch.
What?
The Monarch or the Monarch?
Yeah.
No, it's not actually the Monarch. It's the Monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a Monarch. The Monarch.
Right.
There's no arc at the end. It's just a Monarch.
Yeah, just a Monarch. Yeah.
Monarch. Yeah. So we went to the Monarch and we had a good old drinky sesh. In hindsight, we didn't really pace ourselves. We kind of got there quite late. Not late, but we didn't really give us time to mellow. We didn't eat. We were saying that we haven't eaten yet, so we were going to die. So we had one drink in Spoons, which is like a chain over here. It's called the Ice Wolf.
That is a cool Spoons, to be fair.
Yeah, as far as Spoons go, it's a very cool Spoons. Sat there for a drink, met up with my sister and her friends. Then we walked over to the Monarch, bumped into a few other friends, and went in. And then literally, we got in. We had about, I don't know about you, I must have had about 5 pints within about half hour to 45 minutes. It felt like that anyway.
Yeah, no, we got in. We had already had one at the Spoons,
Yeah.
And then we got into.
But we hadn't eaten.
No, nothing at all.
Did you eat at lunch?
Yeah, I had my salad.
See, I had like a sandwich. So it wasn't. We literally that was our first mistake.
Yeah, and then we got to the venue, and I walked in, and we were doing rounds. So I think you bought the first round.
Oh my god, you kept dropping drinks.
Not like this.
Oh my god, I looked at you, and you went. And you dropped it on the floor.
No.
You literally looked at me and went, you put your hands up, whoa!
No.
You put your hands up, whoa! And then, just drop your pint on the floor. It was a full pint as well.
No, it wasn't. Right, this is what happened.
And I remember ordering, and I went, I saw it and went, I'll have one more one more Cronenberg.
This is what happened, right? I'm going to clear this up right now. Jake dropped the first one.
Yeah,
he keeps saying that it was me. It was absolute bollocks.
No, he dropped the first one.
What happened was I was holding the pint, and he went, "I'm going to go to the toilet. Can you hold this?" And he held his glass out to me, and I cheersed him rather than holding it because I didn't hear what he said. I went, "Cheers, mate," like that, and he just let go of it. And I was like, my holding hand was here. So unless he thought I was going to hold 2 pints with like one hand, this big pint glass, I went dink, and he went. And he blamed me for that. The second one was my fault. I don't know what happened. It just slipped out of my hand and flew to the floor. And then I looked at it and looked at the bar. I was like, "I have another drink, please."
Crazy. Yeah, no, it was eventful. It was a good little night.
No.
It was a good little night. We ended up getting the last train home as well. So we weren't even out late. It felt like we just jam packed it all into like 2 hours. Like we literally like.
It feels like it was a full like night out.
In only like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but it was longer than that because we got up there at 7. We left about midnight-ish, just before.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we were home by like we got the Uber from the station at like 1:10.
Yeah.
So we were home by like 1:15.
So we must have literally got on the train just after 12. So we left at midnight, but we got there. Yeah, we got up into London only at like 7.
Yeah.
So we weren't there long. We was only there for 5 hours.
And then on the way home. Do you want to, because you made me die with the story. Do you want to tell the story of the train?
Oh yeah. So we're on the right. So we're pretty steaming. Right, we're pretty drunk. Like not as drunk as I was nowhere near as drunk as I was last time we went out, which is in the first vlog that'll be coming out soon.
Which be out sometime this week.
Sometime this week. There should be three videos dropping this week, hopefully, or maybe podcast and then 2 more. 3 videos in total.
Oh, and the highlight will be out at some point because the end of March is.
Yeah, so next weekend, I'd imagine. Anywho, yeah, so we got so we've onto the we've come up the elevator, we've come down the escalators, we've into the station underground, got into the tube in London, and bear in mind I'm vlogging all of this, so we're like running through the hallways like it's Star Wars. There's only us 3 at this time of night. There's not I only remember 3 of us. There's probably loads of people watching us, but we're running through the corridors like it was Star Wars.
Sorry, Will and Lawrence was with us to bank.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah. So we got the train at Camden. And they were like, yeah, we were there with you. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, like
how drunk was I?
Do you not remember?
No.
You and Jake said, get off here, and you were like, yeah, okay, come on, guys. They went, no, we're going to go to a bank, and you went, no, get off here. We have to get. We were.
I remember 3 things of coming home. I remember 1, leaving the club and downing my drink before we left. 2, I remember banging on the doors at McDonald's.
Yeah,
because they shut.
Yeah, we were.
And then 3, throwing up all over my bedroom floor.
Let's get to that though. Let's build the suspense.
Well, now you know what's good. Yeah, I've like, what's it called when you give them like
teased them.
What's it called when you the action before narrative?
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what's going to happen, but you don't know how we got there.
So
there's a bear in my bedroom as well.
To get to the end, we have to first start at the beginning, and then partially go to the end.
How we got here.
Yeah, and then jump quickly to the end for just a moment, and then back to the beginning.
Yeah,
other guy's quote. So basically, what happened is we left the bar. We on the way back, Jake got some food from a little pizza joint, which was funny. Just like, and he somehow ate like a huge like New York sized slice of pizza in 10 seconds. You were standing next to us.
I missed out on a pizza.
You downed your drink, and that was when your brain just went, nope, no more Matt. I am no.
Bye.
My name is Patrice. So we left. We went down the escalators. We were running through all the corridors like stormtroopers, absolutely hammered. Got onto the train, being really obnoxious. Although I was sort of sitting in the corner of my phone in the underground, wondering why I was getting no signal. Going, no, why is my phone not working? We got off the tube. We got to the overhead line. McDonald's was closed in Liverpool Street because we thought it was like 10. No, it was late. It was like half midnight, so it was closed. It closed at midnight. We thought we were there. We was like, it's only 10 o'clock. Like knocking on the doors, trying to get in. Some guy managed to get through the doors, and he was saying to the bouncers that were stopping people getting into McDonald's. He was going, I forgot sauces. And then these 2 girls were waiting outside. Goes, yeah, we forgot sauces too. Like trying to get in to buy food, and we were laughing at them.
God, we should have said that.
And then we got onto the train. We've sat down, and I've looked to my right, and within about 30 seconds of sitting down, Matt's out. He's just asleep, like face against the window, legs up on the little double-seater thing. I was like, right, he's gone. So I turned and looked at Jake, and Jake was still awake at this point. I was in mid-conversation with Jake. I was like, oh, Matt's fallen asleep. He goes, oh, no way. I think I have it on vlog. He's like, oh, no way, really? And he was laughing, and we were talking about like how he's going to get home from the next station. I've turned back to you and gone, Matt, do you want to book that Uber? And like woken you up, and you're at this point you're dribbling. You've gone, yeah, okay. I've gone, okay. Then I've turned back Jake to sleep. So I'm like, so I'm sitting there on my own. I'm like, I'm really tired. I started to doze off. I was like, I cannot sleep because if I fall asleep, none of us are getting off this train and we're going to end up in Ipswich.
No, because didn't it go? It went our stop.
Yeah.
Then one stop, which is kind of close to us.
Yeah.
And then Colchester.
Yeah. And then
so like
then Chelmsford, then Colchester, and then Ipswich. So it went all the way up.
Ipswich is meant to be quite nice this time of year.
It's only like 5 murders a day or something. So we were like, oh Christ. I thought, I've got to stay awake. I cannot fall asleep because we are never going to make it home. So I stayed awake. But I kept trying to, because our stop was coming up, and I was like, Matt, order the Uber now, so it's there when we get there. So I kept trying to wake Matt up to say like, order the Uber. But you was falling asleep. So I was waking you up. Your eyes are opening, looking directly at me like a newborn baby, and then just going back to sleep. And I was like, for Christ's sake, bro. So in the end, we get to the station. Matt stands up. I'm like, right, he's standing up now. He's physically using his feet. There's no way he can go back to sleep. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, he found a way. We got off the train onto the platform at our station. I've walked past Matt, so I'm walking ahead of him slightly. I've turned around because I've heard his feet stop moving, and he's slumped up against the wall, sleeping, standing up, slumped like this against the wall, asleep. And I'm like, for Christ's sake, bro, we're never gonna get home this way. It was like taking care of, like, as I said, like a child. I was like, so I was like frog walking him up the stairs. He was like, yeah, okay, I'll order the Uber now.
I'm just such a laid back person. Like everyone hates how laid back I am. Like my sister hates it. My mum and dad hate it. Just because I just don't really care about if it doesn't impact me or like my friends or whatever. If something like losing my wallet, I do it all the time. I lose my wallet, and then like when I was younger, I'd go and say, I've lost my wallet, and Mum would be like, oh my god, I'd be like, just cancel my cards, order the new one. They'd be like, what? Why are you not panicking? So when I get drunk, I just kind of like, don't know, I just kind of tune out. I just tune out. I literally just shut down, and I just go into a nice little comatose. But yeah, carry on.
So we've made it to the Uber. We've made it. You'll be happy to hear we made it to the Uber. We're sitting
off the train. Did you say we get off the train? Said to Jake, you were like,
oh right, yeah. So our friend Jake, who you're seeing the second vlog.
Oh my god, the vlog is going to be so funny.
In about 3 weeks' time, a very funny vlog will be coming out, or maybe 2 weeks. We'll see how the schedule goes. But he was hilarious, and we got off the train,
god.
and as I've woken Matt up to get us off the train, I've knocked Jake on the leg and said, mate, don't stay asleep because you'll miss your stop coming up. He was like, okay, cheers, buddy, thanks for that. Shook his hand. We got off the train. As the train's gone past us, it's literally been 5 seconds. I've seen him slumped up against the window, asleep, like drooling, and I'm like, he's gone. He's going to Ipswich, and I was just laughing to myself, like he's going all the way. So we get to the Uber, we get back to Matt's. We walk through the door. I'm like, right.
But we were moaning about not having food, and I said to Jeff, I was like, it's fine. I got loads of pizzas at mine. We could just shove a pizza in the. We can shove a pizza in the oven when we get home. So Jeff's all piped up.
I was so excited to eat at this point. I was like, oh, pizza. And then we walk through the door. I go to Matt, right, where am I going to sleep? Because sometimes when we stay at Matt's after a night out, we sleep downstairs, like the sofa area.
I don't understand it. I've got 2 spare bedrooms, and you all pass out on the most uncomfortable sofa.
It's really
ever.
Comfortable, and your dog comes in and has a little cuddle as well, so it's all good.
And you've literally got like dog hair all over it because my dog just melts.
Molts.
Melts.
Your dog melts.
My dog melts. No. My dog just molts everywhere. So there's hair everywhere.
Yeah.
And and you guys just sleep on there. And one morning, I slept. We haven't got to the funniest part yet. Anyway, a while ago, there was a while ago, I slept in my nice comfy bed. Came downstairs in the morning. We got back at like 5 a.m. I got up at like 8. Came downstairs to see if everyone was okay. All of them were sitting up, just talking about life, and everyone was just sitting there, like nodding, really intrigued. And famous actor George Carl was like this.
We'd been talking shit,
and he was like, "Can you please shut the fuck up?"
It was like from 4. We said we weren't going to swear. This is good out the window already.
Well,
from 4 till
podcast,
till 9.
we can't control it.
Yeah, podcast.
It's uncensored.
4 till 9, we were just talking absolute rubbish. So So we've walked. So this is back to on Friday, this Friday. So we walked through the door and we're like, oh, okay, we're home. I was looking forward to this pizza, right? And I said to Matt, right, where am I going to sleep? Should I sleep downstairs or am I going to sleep on he's got like a pull out bed in his room and he's also got obviously spare rooms. I was like, so where am I staying? He goes, I'll just come upstairs and stay on the spare bed that pulls out. I was like, sweet. So I went to him. I said, before I go up, I'll use your downstairs toilet because I don't want to wake your parents up or your family up. Whilst I'm going to the toilet. So I thought I'll quickly go to the toilet down here. I was in there for 30 seconds, if that. Did my business, washed my hands, walked out, and within that 30 seconds, I've come up the stairs, and on the floor is just like this white pile of sick, and I'm like, has his dog been sick up here? But then I thought his dog is not allowed upstairs, so
It's just me in the bathroom just
and then I
hurling
walked
my
into the
guts
bedroom
out.
going, bro, what's this? And I've realised he's not in there. And then I've heard in the toilets, blah, 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 and like loads of crashing about, the water running. And then, bless her, your mum comes out like, I'll clean it up, don't worry. I was like, well, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Just bring the dog up.
Yeah.
Dog will eat it. Dog will eat anything.
Matt was in a very bad way, and
Yeah,
I was just sitting in the bedroom laughing. He walks in. I go, right, where shall I sleep? He doesn't say a word to me. He starts pulling out the spare bed. So he pulls out the sofa bed. The first half comes down. He leaves the other half up. Doesn't give me a blanket. Doesn't put the pillows back on. Just looks at me, looks at the bed and goes, ugh. And then just passes out in his bed. I'm like, sweet, okay. So I unwrap it and I sleep in my coat because I was so cold.
There's literally like, oh, I'm such a bad host. I woke up in the morning, comfy as all hell, wrapped up in my duvet. Looked to my right, a GFA is in the fetus position, like wrapped up, hoodie on, and I was like, and I laid there, I was like, oh, poor GFA.
It's in a nasty way.
Yeah, you were well. Then we were okay that Saturday.
Fine the next day.
Yeah.
You were fine because you were sick, and I was okay because I think I sobered up so much. I sobered up so much between the period of getting on the train.
I had 5 tequila shots as well. I don't do tequila. I had 5 tequila shots. I just no. Tequila's a no-no.
Yeah.
Tequila is a absolute no.
I think I was lucky I didn't drink more because if I had drunk more, I would have been chucking you out the way of the sick bowl and being sick myself probably. So all was well.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, so that was our eventful night.
You'll see a lot of that in the vlog.
Oh my god, the vlog's going to be so.
Oh, it's
the vlog. So our friend Jake, he's hilarious. He's going to be taking over the vlog.
Pretty much. Yeah.
This whole vlog is pretty much about him and his YouTube career. But yeah, no, tequila is an absolute no-no. And I was just being given. I had 5 shots of tequila, 1 shot of like rum, but it was light rum because I remember having.
Where was I at this point? Was I just like dancing?
Assassin got me the dark rum, and then Sophie's friend, the guy, got me like 5 tequila shots, or like 3, and then
Crazy.
Grant got me 2. I was slotting them back, but I remember panicking because I didn't know if it was dark or light rum.
Oh,
and on dark rum, I get really aggressive, so like I would make sure I don't ever drink dark rum.
Yeah, all you got is really all you like when we left the bar. All you wanted to do was get home and nothing else. So we were walking, and Jake was like, "I'm going to get this pizza." You're like, "I've got pizza at mine," but your eyes weren't open. I've got pizza at mine. Just leave it. And Jake's just buying pizza and like eating it at this point.
I'm bummed out. I didn't get the pizza.
Yeah, I was really tempted, but I said, should we get pizza? No, I've got loads at mine. Don't worry, we'll get it out the freezer and oven it. I was like, okay, that's not happening.
Jesus Christ, dude! Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've got so many duvets next door. I'm gonna grab one of those and leave them in my room.
If I knew, obviously, I would have. I would have.
I'll have to give you the tour.
I think because I was drunk and I knew like there was so much going on. I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I was fine. When I went to sleep, I was warm. It was only in the sort of the middle of the night I woke up. And I felt freezing, so I was like, right, I'm going to go and grab my coat.
Yeah.
I rode up in the fetal position.
Okay, I've got a few topics that obviously we were going to talk about last Monday, but then I was obviously so tired that and it's also 2 weeks ago that we were talking about it, so I've actually forgot. There's a really, really cool topic, and I've completely forgot how I can't really remember the full story, so I need to just research ever so quickly what it is. So what else can we talk about while I just research this?
I want to talk about if my little topic was So I'm sure some of you guys have heard of Mike Posner. He's a singer, songwriter, whatever. He was a bit of a has been. He was very, very, very popular. He did like he had like a song that he blew up on called "Cooler Than Me." Came out in like 2005, maybe 2006. Can't remember the exact date. It was a bit of a banger, good little anthem. And people like knew him from that. Then he released an album, did a few more songs, and started to slowly die out. And then he just went quiet for like 6 years. Just didn't release anything. Released an album 2 years ago. It was okay. And then he released a new song, or he released a new album. Sorry, this year. I think it was literally 2-3 weeks ago. And it's not an album. It's like like a poetry book, but an audio version. So it's just him talking and shouting words, and every now and then he plays a little bit of music just to remind you it's on Spotify and it's an album. So, but it's not a full song. He'll go like, and we hate the non-believers, and poetry, and roses are reds, and violets are blue. And my father told me one time, you be a man. It's like, okay, well, what is this? What am I listening to? So I was like, right, I just don't know what is going on. So I just turned it off. So he sounds like he's going a bit crazy. And I think he even addresses that in one of his little poems. He's like, people go and call me crazy. And I was like, yes, they are, mate, because you're off your rocker. So yeah, that was yeah. I just want to thought what you thought about that. Have you listened to it at all?
I will give it a listen to on my night shift tonight because I'm so excited to go to work. Honestly, what an absolute drag. But yeah, so I'll give it a listen to. I hate stuff like this. I hate when people try and be different and unique. Driving a pink turd around the road is unique, but no one wants to do it. So unique isn't always the best thing to do. And that shit and that stuff like this, you know, Spotify. You can put anything you want up on Spotify. It doesn't have to be music. You can put up podcasts. You can put up, you know, music videos now. You can put up whatever you want. It doesn't have to be strictly to music. But like, yeah, I can't. It ain't for me. It ain't for me. And like, I was talking to you about that XX Tentition. Also, what an absolute mongoloid. He, yeah, I know, right? Big word. I don't know what it means, but you know, probably means like you're a driver. No, I'm joking. I know what mongoloid is. Yeah, he's an absolute mongoloid. So he's under fire right now because he like supposedly beat his pregnant girlfriend.
This was ages ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but like it's all a bit like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like, and obviously like because of past experiences and like whatever like that, and looking at the news and stuff, obviously you can't really just, you know, like just shout at someone because they supposedly did something, you know, when he could easily be innocent. I hope he's innocent because I hope that there's no one on this planet like that. Anyway, he puts up a video. Let me get it up on. I've got it up on here. He puts up a video of him. Oh, for God, crying out loud!
Sorry, this page isn't available.
The page is
video.
The mirroring comments. There we go. So he put up this video. That's him dancing. Just sucker punches this girl.
Really?
Like, whether it's a joke or it's like staged or whatever, I don't.
She doesn't look real though. She looks like a coat. I can't really see what's going on.
No, look, you can see her eyes and stuff, nose, mouth.
Oh,
yeah. So like
at the bottom, yeah.
If you're being like, if you're being put under for something like women beating essentially, why the hell are you doing that? And like, you know, that the image of Key where he's like sweating.
Yeah.
Someone put like XX Tentition's lawyer right now because he's doing so much to make sure that he's not under.
Who put that up? Was that him that put that up, or the girl that got hit?
The girl, yeah.
Well, he's gonna go down after that. That's
yeah. And you're sitting there like I don't know. It's just a bit infuriating when you're just like, what are you doing?
Logan Paul in a little way. Like I don't like, you know, what happened. All that is it's a bit of history now.
Yeah.
But when he came back from that obviously that ridiculous.
Was it Logan
video,
or
Logan? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Logan was seeing Chloe Bennett.
I know the name. Where do
Chloe, she's from she's.
I thought someone went to our school by Chloe Bennett.
Yeah, I for some reason went out with her. I don't know why. She was like blonde at school, but this is her. This is Chloe Bennett. He went out with Chloe Bennett. What is she doing with Logan Paul? Money. It's money. I don't know what I have to say. I know the answer to that.
But yeah, he obviously came off the backlash of releasing the stupid Forest suicide video because he's a fool and a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he came back from that and then did the whole rat tasing thing and the fish when he tried to perform CPR on a live fish, all that rubbish. It's just sort of like you'd think that in that time, in that limelight, like 3 videos or 4 videos after you've just come back from a month break because of you've been an absolute tool.
Yeah.
To then go to do that, you're like, I don't think he really knows what he's doing, or at least he doesn't have the right people by his side to tell him not to do something stupid, on camera especially. He shouldn't be doing any of it anyway. But the fact that he's a public figure of a huge following of kids between 12 and 16, he's got to be some kind of role model, and I don't think he should be doing that. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Right, I've researched my story. This is a really cool story. It's a really just interesting story. So you know the green fastback rode by Steve McQueen in Bullet?
Yeah.
The car itself was sold. Quite interesting. That's the post in the newspaper that came up. So that is just quite cool seeing how it, how something like that was in the paper, like driven by Steve McQueen in the movie Bullet. Anyway, it was brought by a guy, and that guy then had a son. I'll call the son Clive. Clive then was was working on the car of his dad. Didn't know it was from Bullet. Was working on the car of his dad. His dad passed away, so he didn't want to do the car anymore because he was like, well, he was struggling with his dad passing and doing the car of money with his dad and whatnot. So he didn't touch the car. Didn't know it was from Bullet. Went to work. This is obviously years later. Went to work, and then John, his co-worker or his manager, dropped him home once, and John was telling Clive about a script that he was writing, and he was like, yeah, I need like a. I've kind of envisioned it's like a driving film. It's like like a 67 Mustang, whatever. And like he was talking about, and then on the long drive back to the office, Wallace asked Kernan, so John asked Clive what cars he had inherited from his father. And he went a 75 Porsche 911 and a 68 Mustang GT 390 fastback. Wallace was intrigued and wondered what the colour was, and he said green. He went, responded Wallace, sounds like the Bullet Mustang. So he didn't know that he had the Bullet Mustang. His dad just didn't tell him, and he didn't put 2 and 2 together. And the guy was writing a script that involved the Bullet Mustang.
That's cool.
So what he then did was he then worked on it, and then they premiered it again at like a Ford event, like last year or whatever it was.
I thought it was going to go a bit more cynical than that. I thought you were going to say that the manager didn't tell him, bought the car for cheap, and then sold it for like millions.
No. God, you're horrible. What are you thinking?
That's what I assumed. I assumed the worst of the people. The world's a bad place.
Yeah. Well, I find that real.
That's cool. That's nice. Yeah.
Just weird because, like, I don't know. I find that cool. I just find it intriguing that you can be sitting in a car with someone who's writing a script for a car for a particular, and it was about 2 guys. The script itself, I remember this now. The script itself was 2 guys finding the Mustang, finding the Bullet Mustang scrapped in like a barn somewhere, and then redoing it up and then like racing it. That's quite a cool script, but it kind of
was true. Yeah,
it's kind of true. Yeah, I just find that I find that
stars align kind of thing.
Find that odd. But yeah. So all right, cool. So we spoke about the Mustang. I just thought that was a little interesting story. What else do we have? What else do I have? Okay, so I can delete that. I just want to talk about how influential Steven Spielberg was, because obviously we saw Ready Player One. Our review's up on YouTube now. We're seeing it again on Saturday. Have you booked yet?
No, but I checked the seats last night about 2:00 in the morning because obviously I'm always awake at that time, and there were loads of seats.
Okay, like, cool. We need to hurry up and book that. No one else has replied, so just fuck him.
Yeah, well, I know. Car's in, Lawrence is in, Charlie's not here, and
so
everyone
else. And your bro.
Yeah, us 4. Yeah, so 5.
Cool. So yeah. So I just want to talk about how influential it is. Can you imagine if like we went to like a film company and said we want to do a scene where we have Mario in it and we want to release it? Can we do that? Imagine that. We'd be like, no. But like everyone said yes to Steven Spielberg. I find that absolutely incredible. It just shows him as a person, that can like actually just walk into a place and go, I want to use your characters, and then they use characters.
Yeah. I mean, Spielberg's an absolute legend among the directing community, so there's absolutely no shadow of a doubt in my head that they would have said yes anyway. I mean, the whole thing about him not getting the rights of Star Wars, I don't know what went on there, but Star Wars, whoever Disney came out and said that they did give him the rights, and he said that they didn't.
Yeah,
So
that's quite weird though.
I assume they didn't say yes, because why wouldn't he put it in the film if he had the rights? Why wouldn't he have done that? If I'm honest, it doesn't make any sense. I'm assuming they said no, or they were just dragging their feet, so he didn't have time to put it in the film. And then either they said yes towards the end, or they never said yes, but they're just saying they did, so they don't look like a bastard
Yeah.
company to all the people that love Ready Player One.
Mm.
But I mean,
can't wait to see it again.
yeah, same. I don't think it would have enhanced the film having any Star Wars stuff anyway,
No.
because that's too. For me, it's
But
that's
they
too
did actually
pop
reference
culture.
it because he said about they had the Millennium Falcon in it.
They mentioned it, yeah.
They mentioned it, and that was wasn't that in the trailer? No, it wasn't.
No, I think it might have been.
I'm sure I saw the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the
flying.
film.
Yeah. Well, no. They picked it up, didn't they? They picked up like a mini Millennium Falcon, didn't they?
Yeah, maybe.
Inside Aces.
Yeah.
They picked it up, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, he must have used it. Surely.
Maybe they wouldn't
I
get.
don't
I
know.
don't know.
We'll have to have another look. They might not have said it. They might have just referenced it and said the name. But yeah, I just find it cool how like intriguing that is, that he can just walk into a room and pretty much be like, your characters, I use them.
Yeah.
All right, and then something else I've got here. Game of Thrones all sat around and read the. It's so funny because when you do, like I do it as well. When you move the mic, you want to stop it, but then when you stop it, you end up moving it more. You're like,
Well, I have like really unstable hands. Like, well, I did that. It's not that bad, but I have like unstable my hands. You probably can catch it on camera. My hands are just really unstable. I don't know. I've got some sort of disease or something. But I every time I do it, I'm trying to hold it steady, but then I find myself like Parkinson's, like fucking going for it. So I try my best to just not even touch it when it does.
Yeah. So all the Game of Thrones cast sat around the table and did a table read, and all of them cried.
Really?
So there's going to be some big old deaths.
Yeah, but why they wouldn't all cry?
Well, because you've been working with them for like 8 years, so and like the person is dying in the show, and they use a lot of their show emotions.
It's the end of the show anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, but still. Maybe not all of them cried, but I know like all the big ones cried, like John and Mia.
Probably because their own characters have money.
yeah, my money. But well, no, because it's like their friend is dying.
Yeah, it's obviously sad. If you've worked with someone for a long time, you sort of see them go. You will sort of go like, it will be sad because it's such an influential part of your life, especially if you work for them for like 10 years, like Walking Dead cast, for example. We were talking about that the other day, like the whole thing with getting rid of like characters that have been in it since season 1. There's only a few left now, but the ones that when they do go, like the latest one did, it must be really upsetting because you've worked with that person for 10 years. They kind of become very close friends, like family. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not surprised they cry. I mean, it's the end of the show. I mean, if they all cried, I'd imagine it's because it's the end of an era for them. Yeah. Like working on such a big and fantastic show like Game of Thrones and something that's so popular and so well received by all the audience.
Yeah.
To then think that's actually going to be over next year and there won't be another episode and then we'll have to move on. I mean, Lord of the Rings is doing their series, which will be good. But it's quite sad because you enjoy watching these characters do cool things. So
yeah, and exactly, and it's going to be annoying when because Amazon have finally casted their Game of Thrones show, which they literally said in the advert, "We want a Game of Thrones show."
Yeah, that's Lord of the Rings, wasn't it? They said we want Lord of the Rings, but Game of Thrones show like Lord of the Rings.
We want a Lord of the Rings universe styled as Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it got greenlit. So there's going to be a Lord of the Rings series.
They've finally cast everyone, but obviously they haven't released the casting list yet.
Okay,
but I just love that they're like, we want a Game of Thrones type show. So maybe that's good. Hopefully it's good. I mean, if it's okay, it will be at least.
Do you reckon it'll be prequel or sequel to the films and the books? Sorry. So do you reckon it'll be after the Hobbit?
I reckon it'll be something completely different in a different universe. They won't. I doubt they'll touch on Lord of the Rings. I doubt they'll touch on the films. Well, I reckon they'll do something in the same universe, but like just umbrella it as Lord of the Rings. But like,
you reckon?
Yeah, I can't see them actually putting their foot.
I reckon they'll just do it in the future, like after the demise of Sauron.
I really want a Game of Thrones set in present day. So like you've got like the Lannisters and you've got like.
I don't know how it'd work though. because
There'll
you
be a
have
lot
cars
of
and planes and
corporations.
because the difference is now it's like right. Okay, what's her name? Cersei sitting on the throne. She's
Xerxes. That's some kind of like Toy Story bad guy.
Cersei, whatever her bloody name is. Cecil. Zerg. She's sitting on the phone. She's like, right, I want Targaryen dead. I want Targaryen dead now. Get someone to go and assassinate her. And then it's like, okay, send the letters, send the ravens, and it gets to the thing, and then it comes to the freaking the Eastlands, and then wherever she was, and then all of a sudden that there's an assassination attempt, but it gets foiled by someone else. It's like, oh damn! If it was set in present day, I want her dead. All right, send a missile, send a laser. So it's like it wouldn't really be the same because you could just kill them from anywhere. Like the gunfights, it wouldn't have the same effect, unfortunately. No. It'd be a cool idea to have like a political show that's similar to that. Yeah.
Because then you're looking at something like House of Cards.
Yeah. Or Suits or something.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's move on from Game of Thrones. The only thing I've got left now is a couple of things I listened to on a podcast on my night shift the other day. So let me find them for you. So I mentioned to you about. I can't believe I'm yawning already. So I've lost my train of thought. I do this all the time. When I yawn, I lose my train of thought. What?
Imagine you at work, like doing like a tour or something, like, and if you look to your right, you're.
Oh my god! Right. So you weren't there, but the other day,
I yawned there and you lost your train of thought.
Yeah. So the other day when I was drinking Four Locos, I went to work the next day. I was falling asleep, literally, in like stacking yogurts on the shelves. That's what I do. And I was stacking them, and I was falling asleep as I was putting them onto the shelf. I got up at 4:00 this afternoon. It's because it's so. I'm gonna swear. It's so fucking warm in this room. Literally, it's so goddamn warm, and it makes me so cozy. When I step into Sainsbury's in that nice cold, shitly lit, in the frozen aisle, I'm going to be freezing my nuts off, freezing what's left of my tits off. Then I'll be awake.
What's left?
And then I get home. Then I have to get the train into London. And I get back from London, and then we've got a busy few days to do. We're doing MAViSMITH stuff. Have you decided if you want to do plays yet on Wednesday or Thursday?
You can't do Wednesday.
No, but you can either do it on Wednesday or you can wait till Thursday, or do both. It's up to you. Carl will probably be here, or I don't know.
Yeah, I can go with Carl or Tom, or I can just go GFA solo stream. We'll see what the fans want.
See what the fans want. To stream.
I could still do a Wednesday stream of my own, and then we could do another one on Thursday if we wanted to.
Yeah, or Carl might wanna. You can't really get anywhere.
Yeah.
Car doesn't have a car. Car is not a car.
Ironic.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about this hotel. So in California, there is the Cecil Hotel. About to call it Cecil then. Cecil Hotel, which is what I said to you about when we go to LA, we'll stay in a hotel room there.
Yeah.
It's meant to be like, there's a few things there that have happened that is
hella haunted.
Hella haunted.
Damn.
So the biggest story, the biggest story is a woman from Canada that traveled there. She had mental health issues, so she was taking tablets.
Okay, well that's not a good start to any story that she tells then.
No. She was taking tablets to kind of no. It's completely okay, just listen to the story.
Keep going.
God. So
mental health, takes tablets to suppress it.
She is in the You've stumped me now. You've stumped
You're
me.
telling a story. How have I stumped you?
I feel like I've missed something wrong. Right. Okay. I'll read out to you the actual story because that's what they did. Oh God! One of the reviews on TripAdvisor: do not stay at the Cecil Hotel. Okay. This place is a misrepresentation of a hotel. Do not trust whether it's like this is not a hotel, but more a dorm room for rent. First of all, I've never heard of a hotel that didn't have bathrooms inside the rooms. The bathrooms didn't have sinks nor toilet paper, and the showers are in rooms outside of the hotel rooms. The rooms are old school. Don't be fooled by the ooh, so nice lobby area. Hotel is so not kosher. All right, okay, fair enough. Anyway, so let me get off this. I get sidetracked easily. So the Cecil Hotel is still there. Now it's kind of it's weird, but I'll read out to you the actual storyline behind it. So, right, in 2013, the Cecil, by then rebranded as the Stay on Main, became the focus of renewed attention when surveillance footage of a young Canadian student, Elisa Lam. Now, Elisa Lam, that's her.
What up, Elisa?
What up, Elisa? Don't look, because you'll see the sting.
I saw a picture as well.
Well, yeah, but you want to see the sting, the ending. So, right, let me just find out what I was talking about.
It's a really good story.
I'm trying to find the actual footage. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, I know exactly what this is.
What?
I've just seen just by looking at a picture, I recognise her face. I know what this is. I won't ruin it for the viewers. Is it to do with an elevator?
Yeah, so you have seen it.
I know, not recently. I saw it 5 years ago, maybe, or no, 3 years ago. I remember seeing it. Should we explain for audio listeners and for visual listeners that we can't show the video too? We can probably show this video, right? Oh.
Yeah, nice. Great story, Matt. So this woman is standing in an elevator. She starts acting like sporadic and not herself, and she's looking left and right, like really weird. Do you know how this ends? Do you know how it ends, or have you only seen this?
Yeah. From what I've seen,
So she's panicking. She's like looking left and right. Now there's a little bit of a hidden story around it. So she's kind of looking left and right, left and right. She starts petting an imaginary dog as well at some point in this. She's pressing all the buttons. Yeah, look, like what is going on is absolutely beyond me, and it's just creepy as hell. And there's also, but like what the big thing is the door is not closing. Here, the door is not closing.
It's just so
she's not in it.
Just to explain what we're seeing. This woman walked into an elevator or a lift if you're in the UK. Not the taxi service lift, an elevator. She gets in and she presses the button and stands there for a few seconds and nothing happens. The door stays open. Then you can't hear what's going on, but she sort of looks out both ways if she can hear something going on. I mean, I'm assuming maybe like barking or screaming or shouting because she looks really quite scared. She looks both ways to sort of say, what the hell is going on here? She gets back in the elevator and she sort of curls herself up in the corner as if she's terrified, as if someone's literally come around the corner with like a gun or something or a knife. So she's in the corner all huddled, like waiting for the elevator doors to close or the lift doors to close, and they don't. So then she sort of gets a bit curious because it must have gone quiet. You can't hear anything, so we don't know. And she sort of looks around and she peeks her head out again and she stands there for a few seconds, looks both ways, keeps standing. Then all of a sudden she starts doing like this motion, like she's petting an imaginary dog that's like chest height. So it's like this, like she's like conducting an orchestra is the best way I can sort of explain it for audio listeners. And then all of a sudden she sort of walks out and from what I understand, she disappears and no one sees her again.
No. So you don't know the ending?
I thought that was the ending.
No. Don't look in the chat because it's there. So look at me.
Eyes are locked. What's her name? So if you're an audio listener, you can check it out.
Elisa Lam. If you literally type in Elisa Lam footage, it's on YouTube everywhere.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this, you see the footage, go and see that.
They don't know where she's gone. She's disappeared. No one knows.
That's the bit of story I know, yeah.
Right. Then people in the hotel, so hotel goers, start saying that the water tastes awfully funny.
This is right, yeah.
Yeah, and she was actually in the water tanks up on the roof. When to get up there, you have to go through a passcoded security door, which only all the staff have. To get into the tank is a security door, but the tank door was closed behind her. So if she had fallen in, she ain't going to close the door.
No.
She's not going to walk in, shut the door, and then fall in. And Yeah, so look, listen to this. Apart from the question of how she got on the roof, others asked if she could have gotten into the tank by herself. All 4 tanks are 4 by 8 foot cylinders propped up on concrete blocks. There was no fixed access to them, and the hotel workers had to use a ladder to look at the water. They are protected by heavy lids that would be difficult to replace from within. Police dogs had searched through the hotel for Lam, even on the roof. Shortly after disappearance was noted, did not find any trace of her at all. Theories about Lamb's behavior in the elevator does not sort of death. This is interesting, right? Okay. Is it? Yeah. So now I can't. So this is going off the top of my head. So people in the chat are just saying, ghosts be ghosts.
Why can't they just leave us alone and stop messing with doors?
Always ghosts. Now. She was writing. I can't remember every detail, so just bear with me. And if you're interested, you'll have to just look at it yourself. Motherfucker. So she was writing a blog post on a drug company and ready to expose them.
Right.
So then she turned up dead.
Right.
So people are saying, and there was also footage came out of 2 guys in suits walking down a hallway, which is why my story last week about those 2 guys that chased me in the underground. I was also listening to this, so it was like mixing the 2 together with me being tired did not really work that well. But
when she got into the lift, did she already look panicked, or did she start to panic once she's already in?
She just walks in, and then so people are saying she's up trying to get the lift to start going.
That's what I'm thinking, because I was saying if she looks panicked when she gets in, she might have already been running away from these guys, and that's why she keeps looking left and right to see if they're chasing her. Obviously, it's not ghosty ghost, but so she must have got followed, or she must have known they were in the hotel looking for her. Because obviously she's looking both ways, unless someone literally kicked down her door and screamed her name, which is unlikely. So we're subtle as a hammer if they do that. So I'm assuming that she was sort of walked away, and then
because she can't actually get into the water tank without all the security codes, so she would have had to been taken up. So whether she
inside job,
yeah. But that it does not stop there. I hear you think, Matt, that's not creepy
I know you're gonna. I don't know what you're gonna say. Look, can I guess?
What?
Are you gonna tell me that they did an autopsy? And
no.
Died by drowning.
That's what's that? She died by drowning.
No, she didn't die by drowning.
No, she did die. She died. This is it. The autopsy report and its conclusions have also been questioned. For instance, it does not say what the results of the rape and fingernail kit were, or even if they there was like marks on her body. Or even if they were processed.
Well, what in my mind then? Why in the world would? Sorry to interrupt you. Just why in the world would, if they were drug cartel coming to get rid of her because she was about to expose her, why would they sexually assault her as well?
Exactly. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Plot thickens.
We're going down the rabbit hole. Okay, so I've also got here.
Welcome to the scary.
It also records now.
Subcutaneous.
Right, I can't say that word. It also records.
Subcutaneous.
Right, let's do it
pooling
again.
of.
What is it?
It also records.
Subcutaneous.
See, I knew the word.
Pooling of blood in Elisa Lam's anal area, which is suggested a sign of sexual abuse. However, one pathologist has noted that it could also resulted from bloating in the course of the body's decomposition.
Oh, okay.
So the conclusion was that the death was an accident. The accident box was dated June the 15th. However, 3 days later, the undetermined box was checked instead. So now it's all a little bit, it's all a little bit. But we're going deeper down the rabbit hole.
Deeper even still.
We're going deeper in.
Oh, damn, we're getting real deep.
So that's enough of Elisa Lam now. We're done with her story. We're going on back on. Because I know what you're thinking. GFA. That's not scary. That's not horror. That's just an inside job, and there's a little bit of stuff we don't know about. Yeah, it's not exactly scary, but I'm getting there. So now I can either go off. What? Yeah. So here we go. All right. So now I'm going to read through a couple of things. Now, in 1947, Elizabeth Shaw, dubbed in the media as Black Dahlia, was rumoured to have been spotted drinking at the Cecil bars in the days before her notorious and today unsolved murder spree. In 1964, a retired telephone operator named Pigeon Goldie has... If someone's going to go on a killing spree, his name will definitely be Pigeon Goldie. He has been bullied his entire life because Pigeon and Goldie are
Did his parents just hate him?
Yeah.
Or her? Is it a woman? Or a man? I shouldn't
Her.
assume gender. Z.
Oh, no, he.
Pigeon Goldie. PG.
Oh, no, her. It was her. She had been... Oh, she wasn't a murderer. Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Every time she walks past, people's like... Brr, brr.
I can't do that noise.
I know you can't. You can't roll your tongue, can you?
You're in Friends, where... Cool. She's really sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So anyway. Now, who had been a well-known and well-liked long-term resident, so probably they felt bad for her. Her name was Pigeon Goldie Osgood.
There's a third Osgood as well.
Pigeon Goldie Osgood was her full name. Yeah. She was found dead in her room. She had been raped, stabbed, and beaten, and her room ransacked. I love that word.
All right, we're talking about a horrible murder where she's been said. I love the word.
I love ransack and shindig. I love a good shindig. A man named Jax was charged with the murder, but he was later cleared. Her death remains unsolved. So a death unexplained. Now, the most infamously event in the 1980s, the hotel was rumoured to be the residence of serial killer Richard Ramirez, nicknamed the Night Stalker. Not very creative name.
I know this, yeah, the Night Stalker, yeah.
Ramirez had been a regular presence on the Skid Row area of Los Angeles. The Skid Row in Los Angeles blows my mind. The whole idea of Skid Row blows my mind. But according to a hotel clerk who claims to have spoken to him, is rumoured to have stayed at the Cecil for a few weeks. Ramirez may have engaged in part of his killing spree while staying there. Another serial killer, Austrian Jack Unterweger, stayed at the Cecil in 1991, possibly as a homage to Ramirez. While there, he strangled and killed at least 3 prostitutes, which he was convicted in Austria. Now, they're the murder. They're the non-creepy stuff. So a lot of stuff has happened here.
Oh, we're going even deeper.
We're going deeper.
Deeper underground.
No lube. Right. This is why we need a soundboard.
Well, no, I was just singing Jamiroquai a little bit. But
what one?
We're going deeper underground. Too much
Fair
panic
enough.
in this. You got the first ever? No, the Godzilla. Not the first ever Godzilla. The Godzilla with that guy from. I can't remember what else he's been in actually, but they had the Jamiroquai theme song, "Deeper Underground." Do you not remember it?
No.
That was a good song.
Well, anyway, we're going deeper.
Right.
In September 1944, 19-year-old Dorothy Jean Purcell
slapping. We're going deeper, ladies and gentlemen.
was awakened by severe stomach pains while staying at the Cecil Hotel with Ben. Careful not to wake her husband, who was sleeping in the bed beside her, she went to the bathroom and, to her surprise, gave birth to a baby boy. Now, you tell me how the dude was asleep through that. I can sleep through hurricanes, storms, thunder, lightning. But I can't sleep through. I can't imagine you can sleep through your wife, giving birth.
He slept through the birth.
The teenage mother was completely shocked, having no idea that she had been pregnant for several months. After she delivered the infant, she panicked and threw the baby out the window, and it landed on a roof of a neighbouring building where it was later discovered. She was charged with homicide, but a jury found her not guilty by reason of insanity, and she was sent to hospital for psychiatric treatment. So she threw...
Cut the umbilical cord.
What?
It's like a bungee jump.
Did
she literally just lob it out the window, like snip?
Can't be.
Jeez.
But two things. That's creepy. And the second thing, imagine going up to the roof. Are
we back on how she got in the water tank?
No.
Oh, right, back on baby.
Back on the neighbouring roof. You're walking around. You do a little bit of sweep. You see a dead baby just splat on
sweeping the roof. Yeah. Continue. Yeah.
Sweeping a roof sweeper. That's where they get the name. And then there's just a dead baby splat on the floor next to you. That is weird.
It's crazy.
Now, loads of people have committed suicide in the Cecil Hotel as well. In November 1931, 46-year-old man was reported missing, but not long after he disappeared from his home, he was found dead in the room at the Cecil. He had checked in the hotel under an alias and committed suicide by ingesting capsules filled with poison. Now, one person jumped from the hotel window and landed on someone, so they both died. Literally landed on someone. And another
Precision.
one, precision. And another guy just slit his throat. And he was a normal dude. He just slit his throat. So there is a lot of
Do you
stuff.
know what I think this is?
What?
No bloody bathrooms in the bedrooms.
Yeah.
They're just
They
like,
have to go so bad, but they're so nervous about going out in public.
That's why she thought, she's looking for a bathtub or a sink to wrap the baby and give a bit of a clean after it's got all the pregnancy juices over it.
Sorry.
And she's like,
In the chat, Mel just said, so how did she give birth in the bathroom, and the bathroom is in the bedroom? It might have been different back then. I'm not 100% sure. But if any of you have seen American Horror Story, Hotel, the 4th season or whatever it is based on in the Cecil Hotel, which is quite interesting. In the chat, Clayman said, so clearly the baby committed suicide. Now, you know what this is. You know what this is.
Subcutaneous.
yeah.
Don't know what it means. Situated or applied under the skin. All right.
Subcutaneous.
Subcutaneous.
It's not cocaneous.
A young woman fell from her hotel window and got tangled in telephone wires.
It just sounds a lot like they have a problem with windows in this place. Instead of taking out the bathrooms, take out the windows and you've got yourself a nice hotel. People can go to the toilet when they want, deliver their babies in a comfortable place, and not commit suicide 24/7.
Yeah. So where we're staying when we go to LA, we'll spend a night.
Won't survive a minute. You'll be like, George, I'm just going to go use the outside bathroom. I'll already be on the windowsill. Like, all right, mate, see you in a second. Out I go.
You haven't seen 1408, have you?
No.
We need to watch that.
Okay.
It's a horror film about hotels. It's got John Cusack in it. John Cusack, the budget Nicolas Cage.
Cage, yeah.
There's just no windows. There's just holes.
That'd be worse.
Yeah. Anyway, so. Sorry, in the chat, Mel just said 1408 has 2 different endings. One. I didn't actually know that. I'm excited to rewatch it. I haven't. Yeah, so that was kind of the Cecil Hotel. Are you up for staying there?
Yeah, it sounds lovely.
Yeah.
It sounds like my kind of place.
And then in the chat, Cayman just replied with, "Please don't. You'll go to the bathroom, then give birth." And then throw the baby out the window, jump after it, fall on someone, and then there's just a massive spree of dead people scattered around the Cecil. And then our names will be on Wikipedia in 2017. The very talented MAViSMITH crew fell out of a window.
I just can't believe people
killed 5 people.
I can't believe that people were drinking some lamb juice when they were drinking out of the water then, because they said it tasted funny. So Elisa Lam, obviously her decaying
lamb's
corpse,
juice. Oh god. Oh my god.
she was fermenting in the water for a little while.
Lamb's juice.
It's like a cocktail.
Oh my god.
That's grim thinking about that. People actually drinking that as well.
And whilst the podcast was talking about the Cecil Hotel, one of the people mentioned, this is really interesting. So, what do you think about what happens after you die? What do you think?
Nothing.
I think nothing as well.
Sadly enough, I think it's just like when you go to sleep, except you don't have a dream.
You just don't wake up.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, you wouldn't know about it. You're not going to be worried. You won't have a clue.
Yeah.
It'd be exactly the same as before life. After, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other day, I was listening. Who's the girl that does stuff at funerals? What's her name?
Does what at funerals?
Does that talks? That does all the talking? What are they called?
A priest?
Nah,
a pastor? An undertaker?
No, it wasn't
a woman that does talks. Is it?
No,
always
well, it's not always a woman.
Right. So
who talks and reads out the
a priest, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. No, because it's said differently for a girl.
It's a
Am I tripping right now?
No, there is another word for it. What's the word?
What's it? Should I type in what is a female priest? Come on, chat, help us out.
No. It's not just it's just they've just got another name. It's not a priest. It's something else.
Who reads at funerals?
Funeral speech maker thing. Nice, Alina. I like where your head's at.
I can't find it on here. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, whoever, who reads the eulogy? Who reads the eulogy? Because it's definitely did. Oh, anyone can. Cool. No worries. So no worries. Looks like we'll move on. Funeral speech maker thing. Thanks, Ali in the chat. Anyway, she was just reading out. Obviously, was trying to make everyone feel better. She was saying about how like God has been building a room for you out of all the things you love, and I was just trying to visualize what my room would be like. What would your room be like? In the chat, Adriana just said like a Premier Inn. But the Cecil Hotel, but the bathrooms are in the rooms this time.
Are you still on your own though? So it's your room. Like say you've got a family. Like say you wanted your room to have like your wife or girlfriend or whatever, and like, so you can't have them in the room. I mean, yeah, no one really wants to know. I mean, I'd probably have like, it'd be like a sex dungeon. Like whips hanging off the walls. Like chains, proper S&M stuff, some ball gags.
Especially if you and Mel have got what is it, a death...
shag death pact, yeah.
What it was.
No, I'd probably just be like, I don't know, all my little creature comforts. I would have like a big...
Creature comforts? Yeah. Remember that TV show? Creature comforts.
It would have been very different if they had whips and chains and that.
Did you ever watch Creature Comforts?
Yeah.
Oh, great show. I
don't know, probably just like a big pot of like curry, a pizza.
Yeah. All right.
Like gaming stuff.
Anyway, really sidetracked. But what I was saying was, so like obviously, really so obviously people have different opinions for what happens when you die and whatnot. And this is quite an interesting thing here. So people that commit suicide, this is from someone who believes that there's an afterlife and you go and you basically enjoy like life, whatever. So people who commit suicide are too ashamed to end. Some people are too ashamed to enter the gate because they kind of obviously commit suicide, and some people actually cling to their body because they regret it so much. How powerful is that? Like, and that's why ghosts stay around.
Okay,
because they're still clinging to their body, that they regret it so much. Because obviously that people who do it, I want to say like incredibly amount of people would regret doing it. I don't think there's ever been a single person that has committed suicide outside of euthanasia with regards to like a terminal illness or something like a person becoming a vegetable that just doesn't want to live that way. Outside of that, I don't think there's anyone that's hasn't regretted it. Sorry, as you said, most people the second they take that jump, if they're doing it by well, there's that guy that survived the 7 jump.
The second that they jump, they regret it. I don't think anyone actually wants to go through with it, and when they do it, they instant regret. And it's sad, really.
Yeah, but I just found that quite interesting. Sorry.
Did you see that thing on the ITV Tower in London I think it was yesterday, or maybe today? They put statues up all around the ITV Tower of people standing on the edge to raise awareness about suicide, and it was for the 84 people that commit suicide. I can't remember the stats now. It's like there's a certain amount of people that commit suicide in this specific like time frame, and they put these statues around the ITV Tower at the top. To sort of raise awareness, and everyone thought there were actually people up there and stopping. Like, oh my god, there's a person, like people about to jump, and they just stood there all day. Obviously, there were statues.
Yeah.
And it's to like raise awareness about this horrible suicide event, and to sort of talk out and say, look, it's time to talk about this now. It's not as we said.
What do you think about euthanasia?
It's such a hard topic because I actually did a paper about it for GCSE. I did it for humanities. It was all about euthanasia.
God, I didn't do anything in my class. Literally, I was such a bad student.
I was awful.
Rob and I would just fuck around. We got kicked out for having a fight in the classroom.
It's funny how we're both here at this moment right now doing this, and we both fucked about, and it makes sense. Stay in school, kids.
Stay in school. We had a fight in class, and then. No, I got good grades. I just don't want to do anything.
My GCSEs were fun, yeah.
Yeah, I got a good degree, but I'm not really going to use it. I'm not going to use it to get in anywhere. But thanks for the sheet of paper. Thank you for the sheet of paper, government, and the 20. I've only got like 20 grand debt, by the way. You know, like people have like 27 grand.
Yeah.
Because my year in America was only
yeah.
it was only about £1,000,
That's sick. Yeah.
and people in America were paying like, I don't know how much. It's a credible amount in America to go to uni. And I told my roommate I was paying like £1,000. He was like, gonna start a fight with me, but I don't know. Oh, I've completely forgot. One of our viewers is going to university here. Adriana, you're gonna have a great time at uni. That paper is so worth it. When you come out at the end, you'll feel such a huge sigh of relief
I
that
think
you've got it.
Finish uni now.
Okay, well, you're screwed.
Welcome to the world.
Welcome to the world. Yeah, no, I was talking to my sister in the car. She's got a graphic design degree, and I was saying about how you know, people who do like, again, if you do anything media, you're probably gonna get offended by this line. But I feel like if you do anything creative, so graphic design, film, you know, anything creative, art, or, you know, cinema or whatever, I feel like degrees are pointless. I always talk about if I didn't go to uni and I didn't do 3 years at uni, and we started MAViSMITH 3 years ago, holy shit, we'd be so far ahead of where we are now.
Yeah, for sure. We'd be a lot further along. But that's it. It's all time, isn't it?
Yeah,
Time.
and I feel like people who have degrees don't always have especially with art. It's not about what you know. It's about how well you can do a skill.
It's a foot in the door. 90% of the time, a degree is a foot in the door, and you still learn a lot. I mean, I wish I did go. I didn't go to uni. I just didn't bother. I wish I did. I would have learned. Like,
in my honest opinion, it's a complete waste of time for if you want to do media. If you want to do like sciences, or you want to do anything academic,
business and stuff.
Yeah, you need to go to uni. Yeah, but like anything creative, yeah. But that's the thing. Like, you know, like everyone talk. I don't know if
how
it's.
How do we get here from euthanasia, by the way?
Oh my god, how do we? I love it how we can just. My issue is whenever I talk to people, I'll have like 4 different stories going on at the same time. I don't know if you've noticed that. I'll be talking to you about 3 or 4 different stories, but going between each one, and like people get so lost.
When we're not on the podcast, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when we're on the podcast, if the audio's like, "Oh, euthanasia, this is an interesting topic." See you at uni.
Bye. How do we get to?
On Fast and Furious, like, "See you again." They go separate ways. That's like our mind map. It's like, "See you again." It's like, whoa.
But instead of 2 cars, it's like 8.
Yeah.
How do we
different ideas? We're thinking.
All right, let's backtrack. How do we
make that? So like, just track that.
How do we backtrack on? How do we? Let's backtrack.
I don't know.
Oh, you did a paper at school.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, I did a paper euthanasia in school. That's it.
But I was just to kind of finish up. Like, well, as I said, I've said countless times, I think school is a failing thing anyway. But like, the whole idea of school is a failing thing. But yeah, if you're like academic, I feel like uni, because it's all about what you can do. And people talk a lot of crap on like BTECs here in England. I did a year of A levels left to do a BTEC, and I learned so much more in BTEC because I was making short films, making trailers, making music, making all this all together. And in AS levels, because it's an academic route, I was just reading about other people's achievements. You were just sitting there like, so this guy set up this and this, and it's like, but you learn so much more by doing than actually by not. So
yeah,
if it's something where like you need to know a lot, then you need to go to uni. But if it's something that you literally like, you can literally go onto they sponsor so many people's podcasts, whatever that is, like learning, whatever. You can pay like £8 a month, and you literally have access to like 2 million hours worth of tutorials to do with like film, art, and all that.
This is why I say it's a foot in the door, because uni's really good. It does teach you a lot, and it does get you a foot in the door for a business, because they usually like a degree when they look at your resume or your CV or whatever. But when it actually comes to knowledge, someone that's been doing that job or that work or that kind of work for like 5 years will always know more than you. And that's just the thing. You learn by doing, or at least, I mean, some people do, but I learned a lot by doing rather than by like reading or something. So yeah, I mean, for me, for example, when we first started doing MAViSMITH filming stuff, we didn't know how to properly expose our camera. We didn't know how to use our lenses properly, or how to do like, running running focus pulls and things like this. Is like stuff that we didn't know, because you can't learn it by looking at something on YouTube. You can't learn it by going to a class. You have to physically pick up a camera and mess about with it, because each
Well,
thing's different.
That video up on our YouTube where it's like a day with MAViSMITH, we just filmed like just random stuff to then put it into to try and get our camera looking as best as we could.
Yeah, and if you look at that compared to something like Christmas Fear, forget the fact that the lighting's different, because obviously that makes sense, that obviously lighting's different. But Christmas Fear, when we filmed that, there's just so much grain and noise throughout the entire shoot because we didn't expose properly. But when we shoot in S-Log and we didn't expose for S-Log, we exposed for like a normal gamma profile. So when we actually go to S-Log and we go, right, it's S-Log 2, we actually need to overexpose by like 2 stops to make sure we don't get that grain. We weren't doing that because we didn't know that. But then you go and watch The Day with MAViSMITH, and there's some of the shots, like there's a shot where you point into the darkness and laugh. There's like no noise or grain in that dark corridor. Whereas if we hadn't exposed properly, it would have been all grainy. And it's silly that you learn by doing, and that's why you have to pick it up and just do it. Whatever in life you're trying to learn, guitar, a new skill, learning a language, you can't learn by reading or by just watching. You have to do it. You have to speak the language. You have to play the guitar. You have to use the camera. And a job's no different, and that's why it's a foot in the door, in my opinion. Uni, it's really good to do, really good for your CV, helps you out a lot, but it's a foot in the door. Learn by doing.
Yeah, I mean all right, we've got 10 minutes left. Should we talk about euthanasia for those people that want us to talk about euthanasia?
There was one thing that Clayman wanted us to talk about as well, which is about the satellite falling to Earth, because no one really knows about it. I don't know anything about that, Clayman. I'll research it now really quickly. Euthanasia for me is, I agree with it in the term that only if the person that wants to do it is choosing to do it of their own free will completely. So it's still you can still do it. I believe is it Switzerland or Sweden? I always get them muddled up. I think it's Switzerland. Dignitas in Switzerland. It's a euthanasia clinic. A lot of people from the UK and America, people fly there to do it. I honestly think that if you become a vegetable, or you get a terminal illness and you just want to go out on your own terms, and you want your family to remember you how you are and not how you're going to be in that awful state, I think that choice should be available. I don't think family members should be able to make it for you. I do agree with that. I mean, because inheritance and all that, there's all that kind of sting with that.
I've got a really sad story. So a guy...
Is it about euthanasia?
No, but it's similar to what you just said.
Okay.
So... So I went to the shop now. Go off on a complete tangent. Is the sound wrecked, or is it my speakers? Can you just check sound quickly? So my friend, a guy I know, he's a few years...
It's your speakers.
It's your speakers. A guy I know, a few years older. He's like 45 or 46.
Okay.
I say a few years older, I'm not 40, but like, a guy I know, I'll just say a guy I know. A guy I know is like 40, 46. He has always been really slow and really like, just like, he ties his shoelaces like really slowly, and he moves around really slowly. He's come out with Alzheimer's, but like it's not a normal one. It's completely different to what they've seen. So he's been to loads of different doctors, and like, it's really bad. And he turned to his wife, they got married last year, and said like, you need to start a new life with someone, and you need to you start a new life. And my heart was like, and she was like, no, don't be silly, like I'm with you to the end. And I felt so bad. And I find that Alzheimer's must be the most horrendous thing. But what I was saying to like some of the people that was involved with the story, I was like, you could come out in like next week with a solution, next year with a solution.
Yeah.
So like, whatever you're feeling, or whatever you've got wrong with you, and I know there's conspiracies with the government, but like cancer, we could come out next week, next 2 weeks with a solution that somehow we just magically come across, because technology is a great thing. And I feel like I'm a really big person on like, you do what you want as long as you're not harming anyone. If you want to do drugs, that's fine, just don't harm anyone, don't harm yourself, know what you're doing, moderation, do what you want to do. Some people generally just don't want to live, and some people live through, like, they feel like they have to live because of other people. And if people just generally just aren't happy, and we are as a society forcing them to live because something better is coming, and what if they're, is that it's literally like you're imprisoning them to live life, even though they really don't want to. And it's been that way. My kind of, if you want to do it, you should have a 6 months procedure where like you go to a therapist pretty much every 2 weeks. You should get tests. You should join groups where you all talk about feelings. You should be able to do it, but it shouldn't be like I want to die. Yes, bish bash
because
bosh.
at the end of the day, the real thing we should look at is not the fact they don't want to live, the fact of why don't they want to live and how they can fix it. And because as much as I'm not a religious person, I do believe in the thing that you are you're one in however many chance to be alive, 1 in a million chance, whatever, or 1 in 1,000, whatever the statistic is. The odds of you being here is so slim, so remote. You've basically come from a little sperm that swum up the tubes into fertilized the egg. You got there first. You're the only one that survived. You fertilized the egg, and then you've survived the whole stage of going from the egg into the full birth and everything. And then you've survived being a baby and and going through all that and learning and growing up. To then just go, I don't like life. I think it's. I know it's your choice.
Most
but
90% of cases are 90% of cases are actually like current problems that we will get, and that's why I feel like a lot of people regret suicide, or like if they can, however they've done it. It's I've lost my train of thought now. It's there's a large percentage of people that want to commit suicide are focusing on one problem that will resolve itself in 2 months, 2 years, 5 years, but it will resolve itself. However, there are just some people that just aren't, and I've always said, whoever I'm with, later on in life, if I get to a stage where I can't wipe my own ass, just kill me.
Yeah,
because I don't want to be, if I'm and that's just my opinion.
I think I'd write that into my vows when I'm getting married. I'll say to the woman, I do, I love you.
Shoot me.
You're your most incredible things ever happened to me. If I ever become a vegetable, euthanize me. I just slip that in there and then can keep going like nothing's ever happened. You are my everything. If I can't wipe my own ass, make sure to shoot me in the head. I love you, but yeah, I would want to make sure that my family took care of that if it did happen. And I feel like not allowing euthanasia, in that circumstance is wrong. But as I said, like it's not. It's down to you can't have other people making that decision for you.
Yeah. No, it should definitely be a decision that you make on yourself. There should be, there should just be a procedure. It shouldn't be like let's go do it. Bye. There should be like even a year procedure.
Yeah.
But there are just some people that just aren't cut out for it and just aren't and just aren't,
Yeah, but I feel like everyone's felt like that at some point.
Yeah, but but there's some people that just feel like that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of
I think that those people the kind
but
of
ending the podcast on a really big downer.
Well, I'm going to quickly go through this story if we have just a quick fight, like literally 2 minutes. So Clayman wanted us to talk about one of our Twitch regular viewers, very big support of the stream in the chat right now. If you're an audio listener on iTunes, SoundCloud, Blueberry Podcast, Player FM, whatever podcast you're listening to, go to twitch.tv/MAViSMITH and come follow us there. But join the chat, join the movement. So just quickly going through this article here, an out of control Chinese space lab is expected to fall to Earth within days, according to the latest estimate from the European Space Agency (ESA). Which is monitoring its descent. The ESA Space Debris Office said that the re-entry window for the Tiangong, am I saying that right? Tiangong or Tiangong? It's Tiangong.
It's probably like Chang'an or something.
It could be a Chang'an. One space station was built. Was between. The re-entry window was between the 30th of March and the 2nd of April, although warned estimate was highly variable. It's basically spinning out of control and it's going to burn up in the process. Somewhere between the 31st of March and April the 4th, they've now said here, rather than the 2nd, oddly enough. They said variable. Whilst posing a minimal risk to humans, the uncontrolled re-entry of the space lab is a bolt-on to China's ambitious space program. The 8.5-ton Tiangong 1 ceased functioning on the 16th of March 2016, so it's been almost a year, China told the United Nations that without specifying why. So they said it stopped functioning, but they didn't tell them why, which is quite odd in my opinion.
So China knows if it'll hit the ground or not, but
They won't say, and they also said, and as I said, they it stopped functioning a year ago because it's taken a year to spin to the point where it's actually going into re-entry. I'm assuming. Oh no, it ceased function a year ago, and I'm guessing they just unclicked it. I don't know, but yeah, they didn't tell them why or how it stopped functioning, which is quite odd because it makes you think, well, why wouldn't they release that? You know, if it was a mechanical failure or something, they would just say that, but they're just not specifying what happened to it, which then makes me concerned, sort of thinking, well, why? What have China seen or found out potentially, aliens, that they're not disclosing to the rest of the world as to why their things falling out of the sky?
I've heard
space technically.
I heard a really good opinion on aliens, but can't remember what it was. It was something like if there was aliens, we would know by now.
Yeah, I feel you.
I feel like if there is definitely something out there, if there's going to be an attack of some sort.
Oh no, I'm not saying there's an attack. There's 100% there's aliens, and I'm.
And if you don't feel like if you don't think there's aliens, you're too self you can't be that ignorant.
Yeah,
you can't be that ignorant. There is definitely something out there. We are not the only things in the entire universe.
And also, I would say I'm like 60% sure that we know about it. Like humans know about aliens, in my opinion. But I don't know.
Gonna give you guys in the chat and some of the podcast listeners on what if you've made it this far, it's a little treat into what GFN and I've been working on, because we're going to be calling the podcast ever so shortly. We've been working on a TV show pilot. Will be going up at some point over the next couple of weeks, and a little hint for you guys that stick around. There, it is about GFA and I making it on the YouTubes. That's all you gotta know. That's all you gotta know. It's going to be funny. Well, hopefully funny. But we're going to release a pilot. See what you guys, our regulars like Ali and Hello and Mel and Hello and Melanie and you know Sarah, I presume, Clayman, Jay. See what you guys think about it. If you like it, we'll carry on doing it. I want to do it because we've got so many good ideas to kind of do with it. But we're going to release a pilot. See what you guys think. Then we're going to carry on. We've also got a vlog going up at some point over the next few days as well. But that's all from us here at MAViSMITH. Anything else to say?
No, I think that wraps it up nicely. We didn't end on a dark note.
We didn't end on a dark note, apart from one of our viewers just saying in 100 years we'll probably be dead. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to the MAViSMITH podcast with me, Mav,
and me, GFA.
We will be streaming on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what's going on.
We'll keep you updated on Instagram and whatnot.
Which is a good segue to follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, Chappy Chat, Flap Chat, and emails. There's no email. But just, make sure you keep up to date so you know exactly what we're doing. And we will see you. Oh, we've also got a behind the scenes going up. When's that going up? Wednesday.
Wednesday. It's
Wednesday. Wednesday, there's a video going up. It's behind the scenes of our Christmas Fear video. And it's exactly what you think it is. It's absolutely hilarious. So that's going up on Wednesday as well.
If you haven't seen Christmas Fear, it's on our YouTube channel. It came out on the 25th of December 2017. So it came out about 3 months ago. If you haven't seen it, go give it a quick watch. It's pretty funny, and then you'll see the behind the scenes hit on Wednesday night. I believe it's being uploaded at 6 p.m. is what I've scheduled it as. Although we can bring it forward.
Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Hope it's entertaining, and we'll see you on Wednesday, Thursday.
See you later, guys.
Is the Wednesday stream a VR stream in the chat? Sorry. We'll answer you in 2 seconds, Ali. Let's just close the stream down.
What, are you going to answer in chat?
Yeah, I'll talk in chat.
Yeah. See you later, guys. Have a good week.
Have a good week.
Peace and love.